Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Worth the Risk by Evey Lyon, narrated by Paige and Marie Hawkins. Chapter 1. Hudson. The glass of whiskey, neat, slides my way against the bar, and I'm quick to accept the amber-colored liquid. I examine the contents for a second or two, but I don't need to debate it long. I know anything I drink here in this chic, industrial-styled restaurant and bar will be good, and I've had a long day. After hours of meetings with team management, my brain feels like it may be fried. Anything else, Hudson? I'm going to close up early. Wes is the owner of Jupiter, the bar I frequent because the hospitality is excellent, the food is star-worthy, and this place is crawling with Chicago's sports elite even on a slow day. Well, except tonight. Right now it's just me. I shake my head. It's all good. I'll drink up, then head out. No rush. I need to do some paperwork upstairs anyway. Plus, the weather is that horrible cold rain, so I'm trying to avoid it. Wes is in his early 30s and has a personality that welcomes conversation. Why are you even behind the bar? I wonder aloud, as he is normally up in his office and only circles the restaurant a few times when high-profile guests are here. He grins. Because I'm a good boss and sent my staff home early since it wasn't busy. Plus, when I saw you come in, then I figured I might try to get some intel for a few football bets that I have going on with friends. His humor causes me to tip my head up with a smirk forming. I won't be divulging any secrets, but the Winds will have a good year. Our draft was just announced, and it's May, which means we still have training season ahead before deciding our final roster, and I'm prepared to work those boys into the ground as I have a record to uphold. You are the team's coach, so you may be biased, he counters. I sigh at the reminder. I love my job, but damn, the pressure some days is a lot. Being a star quarterback back in my heyday was tough, but being a coach in a city driven by sports? Fucking insanity. I question my decision to take this job daily, especially if we lose a game and half the city is cursing my name. But then I get to the field, or watch a player excel, and I'm hooked all over again. The sound of the revolving door swooshing open catches our attention. The umbrella, with a pattern that looks like dancing lobsters on it, is obstructing our view of the person beneath, but the sound of heels pattering is enough to tell me that it's a woman. Sorry, we're closed, Wes calls out just as the umbrella collapses. Now I have a full view, and I'm not sure where to start. The woman has deep pink heels, and her skirt falls just below her knee, but damn, it is tight. Working my way up her body, I intend to give her a full once-over. Her black jacket is open, and I get a glimpse of a blouse that matches her shoes. Then her lips have a similar color, and they part open, and I just want to do a double take because she is easy on the eyes. Oh, she nearly frowns. That's a shame. I was hoping for an escape from this weather. It's been quite a day. Wes seems to study her for a second, possibly because my eyes haven't drifted off her for more than a millisecond. You know what? One drink, he offers. A smile stretches on her lips, and she walks in our direction with a sway that seems to be restricted, probably by the fact that her skirt is the type of fabric that must rip easily, and no, I'm not proud that my brain made that connection. She slides her jacket off and places it on the back of the stool, then sits next to me as she swipes a strand of her long, light brown hair behind her ear. Let me guess. Gin and tonic? I ask her to make conversation. She shyly smiles at me. No, I'm a martini, classic, with 3 olives kind of gal. Coming right up. Wes begins to gather the ingredients. She holds her hand up to stop. Wait, can I just have a Shirley Temple? She nearly groans as she says it. I scoff a sound. I wouldn't have expected that choice. I set my glass to the side and then angle my stool in her direction. Believe me, I wish it was the martini, but I just remembered that I promised a friend to join her on the no alcohol for a week train, She wants her mind clear for when her boyfriend proposes because she feels like it's going to happen any day now, she explains. Wow, friendship. But you look like you could use the martini. I highlight the obvious. Her head lolls to the side ever so slightly. True. She taps her fingers on the counter. Ugh, I guess my day trumps maybe proposals. Martini, please. Wes nods, then gets busy with making her drink. Her eyes brighten, and God, I love the curve of her cheeks. Martinis are my grandmother's favorite. Every day at 3 after her soaps, for as long as I can remember, it's been her routine. It's traditional. I like that. You don't seem like a traditional girl. The sound of the martini shaker stops just as this woman's brow raises. I realize my tone may have been playful, but it doesn't matter because for a moment we look at one another, our blue eyes connecting, and recognize that we're both taken off guard by this unusual vibration in the air. Admittedly, it normally takes a lot for someone to make me pause. I'm not easily affected. Well, except tonight, it seems. A smirk plays on her lips, and it feels like it's her slow ease into my presence. Something like that. She examines me for a second, then rests her chin in her hand, her elbow propped on the counter. What brings you here on a Tuesday evening? Long workday. So I gathered you're wearing a suit yet no tie, which means you took it off at the end of the day. What do you do? Wes places a martini on a napkin in front of this woman. Not a sports fan? He seems surprised that she doesn't seem to know who I am. She thanks him with a nod before she entwines her fingers with perfectly polished pink nails around the stem of the glass. No, I know zero about any sport. Why? I fucking love that answer. Mostly because during my history as a star player turned one of the youngest coaches with the highest paycheck, I got a title in the press as bona fide bachelor. There have been a lot of women who wanted to hang off my arm for the cameras, too. But to this woman, I'm an unknown. Nor could she probably figure it out just by looking at me. I'm tall, but not overly so, and I'm not bulky, as my career was based on speed and escaping tackles. I keep myself fit, unlike many former players turned coach. Clearing my throat, I offer my hand. I'm Hudson, by the way, and let's just say I work with numbers in physics. Partially true. Today's management meeting was all numbers, and we make plays based on aerodynamics. After a sip from her drink, she frees her hand from her glass and offers me a few fingers to shake. Piper, I know it's such a ridiculous name. Letting her soft, delicate digits go, I give her a confused look. Why? I like it. It's cute. Piper rolls her eyes. Exactly. Cute. I don't know, I feel like people associate it with, like, a little gingerbread person or something. I laugh at her thought. Okay, I could see that connection, but only because you pointed out. Leaning against the back of my stool, I grab my drink once more and get comfortable for a conversation that I feel like I'm going to have with Piper. Anyways, thanks for letting me crash your moment of solitude. It was a day from hell. How so? Another sip of whiskey hits my mouth. Her head bobs slightly to the side, as if she's debating how much information to share. Then she seems to shake off the thought. I was battling it out with a shipping company for something I ordered, fabric that I've been waiting on, and they said someone would drop it off between 9 and 5, but no one did. I decided to take it into my own hands and marched right down to their office in hopes of getting my package. Nothing. Then Chicago spring decided to laugh at me and pour down freezing rain. It isn't even a full moon, and my aura is really fucked up right now. She's slightly quirky, and I like that. You were running in heels around town in this weather. I'm impressed. Her mouth is closed, but it just makes her wry smile sexier. You never know when you need to be rescued, and hopefully by a hot fireman. She winks at me. I tip my glass in her direction. Points for surviving in this weather. I'm going to head upstairs to look at some paperwork, Wes says in my direction. Just let yourself out when you're done. Sure.
Oh, I owe you for the martini.
Piper moves to grab her bag. I touch her arm to stop her from digging into her purse. No, it's fine. It's on me and Wes will add it to my tab. Piper flashes me an appreciative look. Wes clears his throat and gives me an awkward yet entertained smile. He seems to know that either Piper or I are in trouble, the kind that I haven't had in a while. Life has been a little crazy for me, to say the least. I give a nod to Wes before returning my fully invested attention to Piper. Fabric. You work with clothing? She nods and plays with her last olive on a skewer, and Christ, she sucks that fruit with perfection.
Yes, I'm a designer, actually.
Yeah? Dresses? My lips land on the rim of my glass. Then the moment liquid hits my throat, I nearly choke because I swear I just heard her say lingerie. Swallowing with great effort, my eyes don't blink. Did you just say lingerie?
Yep,
Piper proudly replies.
Well, more pajamas, with a special soft cotton fabric and lace trim, but now I'm venturing into evening attire. That is, well, I'll leave it to your imagination.
Fuck me. I only heard lace, and she said it with such simple confidence.
So, you mentioned numbers. What exactly do you do?
She asks. You know, let us stay vague on details. We've both had a tough day, and I'm enjoying our conversation too much to bring work into the mix, I suggest. She chuckles and throws her olive skewer to the side.
Enjoying our conversation?
She contemplates my answer and taps her fingers on the napkin.
Do you think I'm flirting with you?
Now I have to laugh. No. Should I be offended? I mean, am I not flirtable? Her cheeks raise and turn a shade of pink.
It's not that. I just don't want you to think I walk into bars and try to pick up random older men. Not that you're old or ancient. I mean, you must be, 10 years older than me? I'm rambling. That happens sometimes. Sorry.
She seems flustered. I love this woman's honesty and ability to speak her mind. It's refreshing, and much like myself, I kind of thrive from speaking openly and making others feel uncomfortable to push their limits toward what I know they are capable of. Except in this moment, while Piper thinks I must be offended, I'm the opposite. I instantly reach out and touch her elbow. Relax. Breathe. She responds to my request and seems to calm. I don't think you're a high-class hooker, if that's what you were implying, and I'm happy to hear that I'm not ancient. Her face turns red in embarrassment.
You're in good shape. How old are you, can I ask?
42. You?
25 and ordering children's cocktails, really demonstrating my maturity here.
It's okay, you got to the martini in the end, and I won't highlight that I'm old enough to be your dad, I inform her. Consciously, I leave out the fact that I do have a son her age, but for now, I don't want the age factor to be a deterrent for her to walk away sooner than later tonight.
As long as you don't ask me to call you Daddy.
She says it so casually as she takes a sip of her drink, but the moment she realizes what she said, her face turns cherry red.
Oh my God, I did not just say that. I need to stop jabbering.
She seems mortified. Her sense of humor makes me grin. I like that her mind may be unintentionally dirty. Leaning in closer to her, I tease her. It's okay. I prefer sir anyhow. I run my tongue along the inside of my mouth because I'm trying to restrain my enjoyment in this unexpected evening. She looks at me, impressed with my counter-remark, and her smirk grows comfortable again before she nibbles her bottom lip. Something inside of me is eager to push her buttons. Do I make you nervous, Piper? I hear the hint of determination in my voice, a need to explore the curiosity that this woman sparks inside me. I notice her throat bob with a swallow, but then she sits up straight with confidence.
No, Hudson, you don't.
Her tone is sinfully delicious and firm. I bet she could be a little vixen because her tone was pure challenge. She doesn't blink, and I'm drawn into the deep blue of her eyes that has me thanking the fact that this place is lit just right so I can figure out the exact color of her eyes, as they seem now more green. "Do your eyes magically change color with the light?" I ask her, as we seem to be locked in a stare.
"Not that I know of."
Her eyes sideline to her martini, and she is quick to pick it up. "I take it there's no man to tell you on a daily basis if your eyes are casting a spell on him." She tries to suppress a smile.
"That is a ridiculous line, and you know it."
I chuckle under my breath. You're right, but for some reason tonight cheesy lines are rolling off my tongue. Actually, a sort of light ignites inside of me. I've been so focused on everyone else that I forgot that I'm allowed to have a connection with someone on a physical level. Piper is the perfect reminder, and I think that I'm enamored with her.
If that cheesy line was your subtle way of asking if I have a boyfriend, you are a little late in the conversation to be requesting that information.
The remainder of her drink disappears as she knocks back the glass, then slides it back onto the bar. Why is that?
I doubt you would smirk the way you do if you thought I was off the market.
We study one another, and I feel my pulse quicken. Call me a savage, but I think I want to throw her onto the countertop and lick her like she did her olives. This woman has the ability to steal my breath and make me laugh, and for that reason, I want to make her scream. But instead, we chat for the next 15 minutes about the city and food. My cheeks may hurt from laughing at every retort we bounce off one another in conversation. I look at my watch. I know we need to get out of here soon. Piper seems to notice, too, that our night may be wrapping up. Well, not if I have anything to say about it.
"You're intriguing, but I don't know why. I only just met you," she says.
The corner of my mouth curves up. "Ah, so you are attracted to me." Piper doesn't answer, but looks away with a sheepish grin.
"Do you do this with all the women you meet?"
"I'm not doing anything, darling, except talking to a beautiful woman who seems to be enjoying my company. And no, I don't make it a habit of taking a woman to the hotel across the street." Geez, even I recognize the swagger in my voice. Her eyes widen from my statement.
"Wow, how did a hotel come into this conversation?"
"We wouldn't last the extra 20 minutes it would take to get to my place. Plus, it's fucking raining." I look at her with a piercing gaze because I can't look away from this creature who sauntered into my life on a mundane Tuesday.
"Why am I not walking away from this?"
she asks herself with a fixed smile, because we are being two ridiculous souls acting in a way that I know neither one of us is accustomed to. Because despite the many offers I get, I don't pick up women in bars. I mean, I'm not completely a saint, but I would say I have a 75% moral conscience when it comes to pursuing women. Yet right now, I'm feeling on edge, because I want her, and I'm pulling out my cocky card, which could be a risky move. Why am I acting like a man already addicted? I softly ponder the truth. She is like something I've never had a taste of, and I recognize a warning in my head that Piper may just pull me in a direction that I'm not used to. I glance down as I begin to draw circles with my fingertip on her hand that's resting on the bar. Her skin is silky, and I feel her body tense, but not in a bad way. She's surprised, maybe, by the magnetic attraction that we seem to have. My eyes draw a line up to her face when she blows out a deep breath.
"You have some smooth lines, Hudson. I'm really wondering why the red flag isn't flashing in my head yet."
She looks down at my fingers, intrigued.
"I'm normally a trip to the candy store when I'm stressed kind of person. I've never tried sleeping with a stranger to let out some bad day vibes."
"Do you believe in trying everything once?"
"I do, yes."
I move farther into her space and closer to her ear, now letting my hand travel up her arm to touch her hair. "Listen, we need to get out of here. I'm not a serial killer. Wes has seen you with me, you can text a friend, and we can go across the street. Drink, talk, I don't care. But you're curious about something. And so am I." She glances to me, her head angling in a way that brings her mouth near my own. Mint. She smells of peppermint. Her warm breath hits my skin. Tempting. Our lips dance on their own accord. She's drawing me in, and I really am questioning why I feel like a man who would get on his knees to beg for this woman. Something in the air feels unique, and it started the moment she walked through the door. Do you always make men crazy? I whisper.
Do you always make women do things they wouldn't normally do?
I scoff. Make? No. Wanting something out of their comfort zone? Completely. She points a finger at me.
I'm taking a chance that you aren't a murderer.
A grin spreads on her mouth before she hops off her chair and offers me her hand. It was a quick check-in, no questions asked because they know me, as I stay here sometimes during the season instead of my place in the city. In no time we find ourselves walking down the hall to the room. I spin her until her back hits the wall near the door. I cradle her face between my hands and hold her firmly in place so her mouth is on offer. This isn't what I was expecting today, and by the fact that Piper is breathing heavy, then I would say this is a surprise for her, too. My eyes are fixed on her gorgeous mouth, the one I'm about to devour.
Do we need a safe word or something?
She tries to contain her laugh. Her ability to keep the mood light is a trait that I adore. Fuck me, I murmur. I really want to know where your imagination just went. She wraps her hands around my waist under my open suit jacket.
I'm not sure. You're kind of consuming my thoughts, and then I realize you're standing right in front of me.
And I'm going to kiss you. I lean down and capture her mouth, an instant hit of lust and martini creating the only taste I want on my lips. My tongue swipes along the seam of her mouth, and she willingly opens her lips to offer me more. Our spark creates a wildfire that will burn down the entire earth. Okay, crazy talk hitting me. I pull her tight to my body, our lips never parting, then lift her slightly up as I stretch my arm out with the keycard. We find our way inside the luxurious suite, and the moment we finally create space between us, Piper takes in her surroundings, her lips swollen. She notices the chilled champagne in a bucket.
Who are you? We literally checked in only 5 minutes ago, and already this is here. Not to mention I noticed security give you a nod.
Her question is more amused than curious. I walk to the bottle as she continues toward the floor-to-ceiling window overlooking the city. Damn, she is a scene. She takes no notice of me as she looks out and tosses her jacket to the side. Even when I pop the cork on the champagne, she doesn't flinch. Instead, she seems mesmerized by the view. At peace, even.
No champagne for me. I want to do this before I lose my nerve.
She glances over her shoulder in my direction. I pause my work on the bottle. You know, we can just talk. I feel a need to reassure her, touch base, and to be honest, just sharing the same air in this room with her is enough to put me at ease and make my night. We don't need to do more, but her in my arms, preferably naked, would be even better. She turns around and begins to stroll slowly in my direction.
Talk?
She tilts her head with an adorable laugh.
After that kiss, not a fucking chance.
Then she springs into my arms. My cock rises to the occasion, happy with her choice. Our lips are all over one another, and I debate fast or slow. Slow. Fast. This is like an aggravating play in the scrimmage zone, but at least I know that I'm going to get the touchdown. Her sounds are lost in our mixed breaths, and I have my answer. Slow, I say. Setting her down, taking her wrists gently in my hands to hold them up, I look down at her thinking she is way too beautiful to be alone for a Tuesday night. Whoever let her go is a moron, but I should send him box seats because it means I get to have her now.
Let me take something off, she whispers with a seductive grin.
I bring my finger to glide along her cheek. You do that. Then look out at the view that you were admiring. Yes, sir, she teases me, and I have to shake my head again. Sit down, she demands. I love her confident effort to add to our dynamic, and I move to sit on the chaise lounge in the corner. I get comfortable, untuck my shirt from my pants, and begin to unbutton my shirt with my eyes glued on the show. She swipes her hair to one side, lifts her blouse off, then shimmies off her skirt. Her mint green lace lingerie set is a sight for sore eyes, with the bra cups full, the color of lace a perfect contrast to her pink shoes. I could come just looking at her right now. An original? I wonder as I squint my eyes as if it will magically magnify the view. Her fingers cascade down her skin from her neck to between her cleavage. Uh-huh. Private collection, in fact, she rasps. Lucky me. Do you have any idea how sexy you are? I ask. I do. Piper has confidence, that's for sure. She flashes me a coy look before walking to the window. So about that safe word, she trails off. Shaking my head ruefully, I grin, but I also can't control the urge inside me to consume her until she melts into the mattress. I pounce off the seat and grab ice from the bucket on my way to Piper. I throw away a few cubes until I have one trapped between my fingers. Noticing the way her body shivers, her nipples pebble, and every inch of her is screaming to be discovered, I don't delay. Hands against the window, Piper, I order. The moment her hands hit the glass, the piece of ice between my fingers lands on the side of her stomach, causing her to flinch as the ice begins to melt against the heat of her body. I smirk to myself, wondering if she will ever figure out my connection to football. Your safe word can be foul. In response, she moans as I slide the ice lower.
Chapter 2. Piper. 3 weeks later. My grandmother hands me the television remote control to set on the coffee table. We just spent an hour watching her favorite soap and sipping our martinis in her living room. You know, I haven't watched this in years, and yet the same actors are still on there, I remark as I hold my near-empty glass out to the side. My grandmother plays with her pearl necklace. It's strangely comforting that I age with some of those characters. Anyways, what else is this old bat gonna do? I chuckle at her thought. What don't you do? Symphony, tea with the ladies from your book club, giving the doorman an earful. And you're not old. You haven't hit 80 yet. You have a few more years, and besides, 80 is the new 70. You're hardly a dinosaur, I assure her. Piper, I would prefer you tell me that I'm a frail old lady who needs to see her only granddaughter married one day soon. She gives me a stern eye that only makes me smile more. I came here to spend quality time with you, my favorite senior citizen, and this is what I get? I pretend to be offended. She drinks every last drop of her drink before placing the glass on the side table, which probably cost half my rent. I can't help but glance into my near-empty glass. The last time I had one of these was a few weeks ago, on that night that will go down in my life's history book as unforgettable and one of a kind. Wild, magnetic, and I felt free. I've never just hooked up with someone. For the first time in a long time, I felt an opportunity where I felt comfortable and grabbed it before I lost the chance. I have zero regrets. Okay, maybe one, but I don't think too long about that. At least tell me that you're having fun. A woman with your looks who is as successful as you shouldn't be spending nights alone. My face must look astonished that she's prying into my sex life, but dear old grandmama has always been bold. Oh, please. You think your grandfather, God rest his soul, was my first. Besides, I've seen your designs, and you must get your inspiration from somewhere. This conversation is not happening, I lament. Oh dear, don't even try to hide the facts. You look like a woman who has seen more action than a Vegas showgirl. There must be a giddy look on my face. It's because of Hudson and the moments from that night that have raced in and out of my head for the last few weeks. He had a command on me that I desire, and experience that I crave. Most of all, he could make me smile with our weird brand of humor. Now I tip the glass to my lips.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?